like missed prior to entering Dime Tower.
Okay.
So like the quest lines are like the one that has like 4 or 5 quests is the glittering quests, where you gotta go out and kill a monster for a random drop. It's 10% of a glittering piece of equipment that you can't actually use, and its only purpose is to give to that dude for the quest.
Right. Also, does Sumo decide to become a silent protagonist here, where he could just say a word and clear up all nonsense?
He's quite chatty.
Well, not right now.
I need to get more comfortable. But yeah, if you even care to do the quests in this game, which they're not really that many of them, then we'll talk about them later.
Okay. Just tell me if I'm about to miss everything, and if there's any good rewards at the end for the way I'm playing.
Well, pretty much there's gonna be a missable quest at like every town you get to after Topple.
Okay. Hey, I got a magic rope.
So one thing that confuses me about this game is they talk about the Vandal Empire. And I guess I don't have to explain anything to you about the Vandal Empire since you read about them in the intro.
Right.
But
they're bad guys.
The thing that confuses me is relating to Secret of Mana, which is the second game in the series. But according to everything we know about the timeline of the series, Secret of Mana is supposed to be the final game in the timeline. But the main antagonist there is the Vandal Empire, which you find out shortly into the game.
So maybe they come back?
Well, it's weird because it's like the way the story is told, it could absolutely be the Vandal Empire talked about in this game. But because of the way that game concludes, it's kind of impossible for it to be that Vandal Empire.
Right.
And
so what
like,
you're saying is it's just confusing.
Like it's never made clear who Emperor Vandal actually is in Secret of Mana. Whether he's a descendant, a reincarnation, just some guy that's using the name Vandal, or what. All around, it's just a confusing situation.
Uh-oh. I am dying. Run away.
You
Yeah,
probably got some gumdrops you can use.
What's a gumdrop do?
It restores health.
Oh, that would be helpful, but there's a mana statue right here. Also, you're right next to getting to your level 40, right? That gets you the bonus item?
Yeah. I did find out that there's actually an even more overpowered accessory hidden in the game. So if you don't want to go for the overpowered accessory,
How do you get the overpowered one?
you have to pick one of the 6 archetypes to level up all the way to 40.
Well, yeah, that's what you're doing right now, right?
Yes.
Okay.
But the other one that you get, it's just like you find it in a hidden area a little bit later in the game. So, like, the accessory you get from doing the level 40 thing, it will raise the primary stat by 40. Or if you're picking a mixed class, it'll raise all stats by
20.
20?
By 20. Yeah, that's what I read. Ow.
Yeah. 20 or 15, something like that.
Hey, I leveled up.
But this other accessory I found raises all stats by 55, so kinda makes it a moot point. I'm just not exactly sure how far in that accessory is.
Okay, time to figure out how to level up. Oh, yes. Level. Oh, no, that was items. Okay, so to get the thing I want, which is this strange thing called a Star Lancer, I need to do Warrior twice, Monk twice, and Thief once.
You gotta start with random first. You gotta start with the base class.
Oh.
Look at the chart in that guide. Like, you start with no class. You have to get the entry class first. And it's got its own requirements, which I believe that one's random level 5.
Oh, wait, let me look.
It's important that you do that. Because if you just start leveling up Warrior to 8, you're going to be locked in the Warrior class.
Oh. Thought that it was... Oh, okay. So wait, the first... Okay, so Fighter starts Fighter, which says Warrior to 5. Right? That's the first part of Warrior.
Yeah.
Okay. Monk
But you're going for the Star Lancer, which is a mixed class,
Right.
which would be random to 5.
Actually, it doesn't say that. It says the first step is Barbarian / Amazoness. Amazonas? Okay. Which is Warrior 2, Monk 2, and Thief 1.
Oh, okay.
I think it's just a weird way that specific one works. I don't know why that is. Okay, so I will do Warrior 1. Yes. Yay! I think I'll... So should I do some grinding here just to get up to that? So I can get started without having to sit with the
It's
screen.
not really necessary. Like, if you want to grind, you might as well wait until there's, like, an item worth dropping. Because Rabites are going to give you almost nothing for experience.
But they're cute. Ow.
Did you see my video on Facebook where I won a Rabite?
No, I didn't.
I was playing that Toriba crane game app. Where you play actual crane games that are located in Japan, and they ship the prizes to you if you win them.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, it's free shipping too, once a week.
Wow, that's actually impressive. Boom. My sword is up. I got animal meat.
But yeah, the weird thing about me winning that Rabite plush is that I just bought one on eBay before I found that. I was just playing it because they give you some free plays to start with. So yeah, I'll have 2 giant Rabite plushes before long.
They're kind of cute though.
Speaking of Rabites, I need to find out how many of these rebellions I've killed. Oh, whew. only 280.
I am poisoned. And I found some insect things. And a tombstone.
Interesting to notice, this game has all the same weapon types as Final Fantasy Adventure, except for the addition of the staff and the glove. Final Fantasy Adventure did not have those two weapons, nor did it have the magic system the way it is. With the spirits. Like, there were spells you could get, but it was like, here's a heal spell. It will always heal you for whatever the heal formula is. There was no leveling it up. And it wasn't associated with a mana spirit. They didn't exist yet.
Right.
Mana spirits were actually created in Secret of Mana.
So was Final Fantasy Adventure made before Secret of Mana? I mean, yeah.
Yeah, it was 1991. Secret of Mana was 1993.
Okay.
Now, a lot of people think that the first game, Seiken Densetsu 1, was given the name Final Fantasy Adventure just to make it sell better in the West, but this is not true. It was actually a spin-off of the Final Fantasy series, because its full name in Japan is Seiken Densetsu Final Fantasy Gaiden.
Oh, okay.
And that's why it has Chocobo and the Moogle status. Which, oddly enough, are the only things that it has in common with Final Fantasy. Besides a few common naming conventions.
And tropes. And like fantasy tropes.
Well, those are the only returning elements in the series. Final Fantasy Adventure itself had a couple more things. There was one character that was a red mage that joins you briefly at the beginning of the game. And there are black mages that appear as enemies.
Oh.
As well as Maguses, the upgraded class of black mage from Final Fantasy 3.
Right.
But yeah, that's really all the Final Fantasy-ness that it was. So after that, they released Seiken Densetsu 2, which became Secret of Mana when it was released in the West, dropping the Final Fantasy Gaiden, and there was actually nothing Final Fantasy related in that game except for Moogles, which at the time that it had come out in the West, no Final Fantasy games had come out in the West that had Moogles in them.
Oh, so it was the first Western Moogle.
Yeah. Kind of ironic how that works out.
Yep. So enemies respawn when you kill them all. Basically. But it's like die, rabbit.
Yeah. It works very differently than it does in Final Fantasy Adventure.
Okay, so I was going
Yeah, Final Fantasy 3 was the first appearance of Moogles. We didn't get that game till 2006. Final Fantasy 5 was the next appearance. We didn't get that game until like 1998.
And Final Fantasy 6 was the next appearance.
Final Fantasy 6 was the first Western appearance of a Moogle in Final Fantasy. And I think Final Fantasy 6 came out in 94 or 95. Secret of Mana came out in 93.
Mystic Quest didn't have Moogles either. Or Chocobos, for that matter.
So, in the process of dropping the whole idea of being a Final Fantasy sub-series and becoming its own series, Secret of Mana, like, created a whole set of lore and a whole magic system and weapon system and all that to make it wholly unique. And that's where we get the Mana Spirits from and all that. And then Seiken Densetsu 3, which never came out in the West, unfortunately, further refined this.
Yeah, I've heard that game is supposed to be really good.
It is. I'm one of the people that believe Seiken Densetsu 3 is the best Mana game. Other people think Secret of Mana is the best Mana game.
Other people think this one is the best.
No.
Oh.
In fact, a lot of people say this is garbage. But I also think a lot of people are talking out their ass about this game.
I'm having fun. I've just been killing rabbits and bats for a while. Because I have no idea where I'm going. Okay. So he wants to find a Gemini, which, sorry, I don't know where one is, so can't help you there.
So after Seiken Densetsu 3, they made a game called Legend of Mana.
Okay.
As far as I know, that game takes place outside the timeline, like alternate dimension. But they could easily retcon it to be within the timeline.
Okay.
But it doesn't really add anything to the timeline that all the other games definitely exist on together. But it does add a lot of things to the series. A lot of the characters that you're seeing in this game, like Niccolo and the little cactus that you'll see later, are products of Legend of Mana. And the art style in particular in this game is a product of Legend of Mana. And that's one of the things that people were actually super critical about for both Legend of Mana and Sword of Mana. One of those things that, as time has passed, people have grown to appreciate more. Kind of like with Earthbound's graphics. You know, critically panned at release and then later appreciated.
Right.
But Sword of Mana came out after Legend of Mana. And the idea behind Sword of Mana is, what if we remade Final Fantasy Adventure as if the series had always been its own thing and was never a spin-off of Final Fantasy?
And this is what was created.
Yes. It's much more in line with the likes of Seiken Densetsu 3. And there's definitely bits of inspiration from Legend of Mana and Secret of Mana. But all in all, it heavily draws upon Seiken Densetsu 3 and then, to a lesser extent, Legend of Mana.
Sounds confusing.
All you really need to know about why everybody complains about this game is that Secret of Mana is generally the most popular in the West in this series.
Okay. So that makes it the worst, right?
And this game drew heavily from the other two widely recognized mana games, which which Secret of Mana fans didn't like as much.
Right. Hey, I got a blinkweed. Okay, so apparently there's a place I need to go where I can find a person who is blocking the path. Okay, cool.
So yeah, there's your mana history lesson.
Also, what does Seiken Densetsu mean?
Legend of the Holy Sword.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I would never have guessed. Why didn't this text show up before?
I can actually give you a little bit more history about the Mana series. Because after Sword of Mana, they released a project called World of Mana that was a huge failure and basically killed the series.
Okay.
But it was during a time when Square Enix as a company was like, let's reinvent the wheel with every single game we release this year. And World of Mana was part of that mission statement.
Okay.
So, 3 games, 4 if you count a Japan-only mobile game, were part of this World of Mana project. And none of them were action RPGs like the rest of the games in the series.
Right.
The only one that was actually given a number in Japan, Seiken Densetsu 4, it was called Dawn of Mana here. And while it is easily the prettiest PS2 game in existence, and has a great soundtrack, the gameplay is absolute
hot
garbage.
Hey.
It is a physics-based action game.
Oh, that sounds fun. Now
And the physics suck.
Oops.
It's like you had one job and you blew it.
Yep. Heretic Hunter, with the realm? Wait a minute, what are you talking about? What have you done with Sir Bogard? I haven't done anything. You're lying. You're right, I killed him, and your little dog, too. Wait, ow, ow, ow. Why don't you draw your sword, just like you did when you destroyed my village? Hold on, you've got it all wrong. Suma doesn't even look like a knight. He looks like a dude who's trying to cosplay as Goku and failing miserably. My only enemy is Dark Lord, and if you're one of his minions, I will draw my... Me work for Dark Lord? Get real. Dark Lord is the sworn enemy of my village. Okay, so neither of us works for Dark Lord. Let's calm down or we won't get anywhere. So you hate Grand's Realm too? Here, it's a letter I found. It must be for you. Huh? It's a letter from Sir Bogard. What? Hey, I'm Wisp, a light spirit. Recovery from attacks and such is my specialty. How do you do? That's a light spirit, isn't it? Can you actually use spirit magic? You've never seen a spirit before? They won't appear to bad people, so I guess you're probably not too bad. Okay then, I'll teach you how to use magic. First select spirits and the magic you want to use. Then press the R button. Pressing the R button calls the spirit, and letting go of the button releases it. Okay, got it. Tutorials. Got it. So I can use it too. Oh, that's right. I forgot the letter. I didn't know it was for you when I read it. Sorry about that.
It's extremely strange that you get the tutorial there, considering you don't actually have magic yet. But what's even more absurd about that is that when you're playing as the girl, she gets a tutorial as soon as you gain control of her about how to use magic. And she also gives that tutorial to him.
That sounds like somebody was lazy. Gracious. Just as I thought, it's Sir Bogart's handwriting. He's alright. Oh, good. I'm going to have to visit Wendell. If you're going to Wendell, would you mind if I tagged along? How come? There's a sage in Wendell by the name of Sibba. Yes, I've heard of him. Are you going to see him? Yeah, there's something I need to ask him. I need a sword to defeat the Dark Lord. Alright then, let's go to Wendell. Together. Congratulations! You've got a new friend. The master over at that sealed the cave to Wendell. We've got to get there before we can get anywhere. However you get there. Okay, cool. Now let's save. Yes.
Code bead has been received. Alright, now what do I need to level up next? I think it's random.
I learned how to jump. You can jump by pressing the L button. Topple cotton. Okay. Ah.
Gotta pull up the same guide that I linked to you a while back.
1 second, I have to figure out what button my controllers are set to.
Okay, let's see. Okay, I need to become an enchanter and then an evil shaman. Or dark shaman. Let's see, enchanter. Sage level 10, I think I have that. Random level 5. And for dark shamaness, random level 10, sage level 15, and magician level 10. So I just need to raise up random 10 levels and then raise up magician 10 levels.
Okay, for some reason I have a fast forward button.
Oh, that's an emulator feature.
Oh. Well, for some reason it seems to have overwritten one of the buttons set, so that's weird. Let me see if I can't fix things.
I have lost count of how many fire coins I have. I need to go find out.
Okay, for some reason still... Well, actually, okay, I might do that differently. Because it seems that that button is just automatically set to that.
That's weird.
What?
What button were you using?
I was using the right trigger to try to do right. The right button.
Just use the bumpers.
I have that as select and start.
Use select and start as select and start.
It wouldn't let me.
It wouldn't let you.
No.
What kind of off-brand controller do you have?
The worst kind, the Xbox controller.
I'm using an Xbox controller. And I am holding the right trigger right now, and it's not speeding up.
Okay, I don't know why that happened then. Yeah, but it still does that right trigger for me, but now I actually do have it so that select and start